Listen closely. Chosen one. You were never the target because you were weak. You were targeted because you carry something powerful. From the moment your light began to rise, there were whispers in the dark. Not everyone who smiled at you wished you well. Not every hand that touched you carried blessing. Some carried curses wrapped in envy, silent words spoken against your progress, unseen arrows released toward your peace. But here is what heaven needs you to know. Every curse that was sent your way has already been reversed. God took what was meant to destroy you and turned it into divine fertilizer for your growth. What they meant for harm, He has redirected for glory. You've wondered why things suddenly shifted, how peace turned to pressure, why doors slammed right when you thought breakthrough was near. It wasn't coincidence. It was spiritual warfare proof that the enemy recognized your potential before you did. Yet through every hidden attack, every sleepless night, every shadowed season, there was a shield. The hand of the Almighty was over you. He didn't let their words take root. He didn't let their plots prosper. And now heaven is announcing the curse is canceled and favor is activated. Everything they spoke against you is being rewritten in your favor. Every delay is turning into acceleration. Every betrayal is becoming divine redirection. This message isn't for everyone. It's for the one who has felt unseen battles pressing on their soul. For the one who sensed energy shift in rooms, who felt heaviness after certain conversations, who knew deep down that something was resisting their light. You are not imagining it, but you are also not defeated. Because the same God who watched them plot also planned your promotion. Stay with this word until the end, because by the time this message finishes, you'll understand why everything that was sent to curse you has become the very thing that crowns you. Let's go deeper. This message didn't come through rumor or human opinion. It comes from the throne of the Most High. The Spirit of God has been watching the unseen warfare surrounding your destiny. He has heard the quiet sighs of your heart, the prayers you couldn't even form into words. He knows the betrayal that cut deep. He saw the strange opposition that rose without reason. But he also smiled because he knew what they thought would curse you would be the very proof of His covenant with you. God says, "Touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm." Those who rose against you weren't just fighting you. They were fighting divine order. And in doing so, they positioned you for greater favor. There are moments when God allows the enemy to think he's winning. He allows the setup only to turn it into the stage. He allows the fire only to prove that you are flame-proof. Every attack became part of your anointing's confirmation. This is a holy message, a divine download meant for the one who has been questioning why they attract both admiration and attack. It's because your very essence disrupts darkness. Your presence exposes hidden motives. You carry heaven's frequency, and hell reacts to it. But listen, you are under divine jurisdiction. Nothing spoken against you has authority unless God permits it, and even then, it must serve His plan. This word arrives as divine evidence. The tables are turning. Those who whispered will watch in wonder. Those who tried to bury you will realize they planted a seed that heaven intends to water publicly. The Spirit of God says, you are stepping into a season of divine reversal. What once was a curse will now carry your crown. The ridicule will turn to recognition. The rejection will turn to redirection. So lift your head, chosen one. This isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of your unveiling. There is a prophetic shift happening around you right now, chosen one. Heaven has reviewed the accusations spoken over your name, and the verdict has been rendered not guilty, favored. Every word curse, every false label, every malicious plan has reached its expiration date. The attacks were never random. They were prophetic signals that a divine turnaround was scheduled for your life. Listen closely. There is a law in the Spirit. What is meant to curse a vessel anointed by God must eventually serve their promotion. The enemy never learns. He keeps attacking those who are already sealed by grace. And when he does, God simply repurposes the weapon into a testimony. There was a time when people smiled in your face and spoke against you in secret. They wanted your downfall, disguised as concern. But heaven was listening. Every poisonous word spoken in dark corners is now echoing back into divine reversal. You were never meant to blend in. The anointing on your life makes you stand out even when you try to stay quiet. The light within you exposes motives around you. And that's why you've experienced strange resistance, because you've carried kingdom fire in earthly spaces not everyone can handle. But now comes the unveiling. God is turning those hidden curses into visible favor. The same mouths that doubted you will be forced to acknowledge your elevation. The same doors that were closed are reopening, not because of human mercy, but because divine justice demanded it. Hear this. God did not just protect you from their words. He used their words to redirect your path. The delay you thought was punishment was actually preservation. The setback was setup. The confusion was construction. You may not see it yet, but there's movement in the unseen. The spiritual realm has shifted on your behalf. Angels are realigning events, restoring what was stolen, and preparing divine appointments that no curse can block. This is not just another encouraging message. This is a decree. You have officially entered your Esther moment. The very gallows built for you will be the place of their own undoing. You are walking into your Joseph season. Every betrayal is about to position you in the palace. You are stepping into Numbers 23:8, where Balaam confessed, "How can I curse whom God has not cursed you?" You chosen one are that testimony. Heaven is now showcasing what happens when a cursed plan meets a covenant soul. Expect sudden changes. Expect divine exposure. Expect people to circle back, not to harm you, but to witness what grace can do. The word is clear. God turned it into favor. And that favor will not be quiet. It will speak loudly through breakthroughs, restoration, and divine recompense. You're not stepping out of the fire. You're stepping out glowing. The curse didn't cling to you, it purified you. The attack didn't stop you, it qualified you. The prophecy is unfolding even now. Your enemies are about to regret ever trying to curse what heaven has already chosen. Let's pause and look deeper, because this moment carries spiritual architecture. Every curse that came against you had to pass through divine filtration. Nothing touched you without permission. You were not being punished. You were being refined. The curse was never about destruction. It was a divine classroom teaching you discernment, strength, and unwavering faith. The reason it hurt so deeply is because God was stretching your spiritual capacity. You were being prepared to carry greater glory. Think of it like this. When oil is pressed, it releases fragrance. When gold is tested, it reveals purity. When chosen ones are cursed, it reveals covenant. The curse didn't expose your weakness, it exposed heaven's investment in you. That's why you felt isolated. That's why familiar faces turned unfamiliar. That's why situations that once felt comfortable suddenly became uncomfortable. God was removing counterfeit support so you could stand in authentic anointing. Spiritually, you were never fighting people, you were fighting the atmosphere that resisted your awakening. Some of the resistance came through human vessels, but the battle was never personal. It was positional. You were rising, and darkness reacts to light. Every time you chose love over bitterness, every time you forgave when you could have fought back, you broke a generational curse. You shifted bloodlines. You became the interruption in a pattern that has existed for generations. You are not just surviving attacks, you are rewriting destiny. Understand this spiritual law: curses lose their power when purpose is revealed. The moment you realized who you are in God, Every assignment against you began to crumble. Your awareness became your armor. Heaven says you have graduated from reaction to revelation. You no longer chase validation. You walk in vibration, divine alignment. The depth of this word is that favor is not compensation, it's confirmation. You are not being paid back, you are being revealed. The same fire that burned bridges is now lighting your path. When God turns a curse into favor, He doesn't just fix circumstances, He shifts identities. You are no longer the wounded one. You are the weapon. You are no longer the victim of words. You are the vessel of wonder. Look back at your journey. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every rejection redirected you. Every loss trained you to value peace. Every tear was an investment that heaven is now cashing in. In the unseen, your name has been marked. You carry divine immunity, not arrogance, but authority. Curses can't stick to clean hands and a pure heart. That's why the enemy targeted your purity, your peace, your prayer life, because those are your shields. But God says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And now that you've passed through, the proving your spirit carries evidence, the oil of resilience, the fragrance of faith. Your story is the spiritual demonstration that divine favor is not the absence of attack. It is the triumph through it. When God turns a curse into favor, there are always signs, sacred signals woven into your daily life that whisper, it's shifting. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Heaven doesn't need to shout when it speaks to a chosen one. It moves through patterns, people, and presence. Let's discern the signs that reveal your reversal has begun. 1. The energy around you changes. You begin to notice that the heaviness you once carried is suddenly lifting. The atmosphere feels lighter. The same places that once drained you now feel neutral or even peaceful. That's not your imagination. It's because God broke the invisible cords that tied you to environments soaked in negativity. When curses are reversed, peace becomes your first language again. 2. The isolated season ends quietly. You start to see reconnections, but not to the old, to the new. Divine alignments begin forming effortlessly. You meet people who reflect your healed energy, not your wounded version. These are kingdom connections, not convenience ones. Heaven begins surrounding you with those who see your value, not your vulnerability. 3. The hidden becomes visible. Information begins surfacing, secrets are revealed. Motives are exposed, truth comes to light. What was whispered in private finds its way to your awareness. This is God cleansing your atmosphere. The exposure is not to humiliate others, but to free you from manipulation. 4. Doors reopen without struggle. Where there was resistance now, there's flow. Emails come through, opportunities appear, divine timing aligns perfectly. The same situations that once felt cursed now feel covered. God's fingerprint becomes visible in synchronicities, the right call at the right time, the exact provision when needed. The random encounter that changes everything. 5. Your spirit feels restored. There's an unexplainable sense of inner renewal. You wake up with hope again. You feel creative, inspired, peaceful. The nightmares fade and prophetic dreams return. You sense angels near and worship flows effortlessly. That's the sound of spiritual clearance. The curse lost its access. 6. The people who spoke against you go silent. Not because they repented, but because heaven muted their influence. The more they try to mention your name, the less power their words carry. God has placed spiritual insulation around you. Slander cannot penetrate what favor now surrounds. If you are experiencing even 2 or 3 of these signs, rejoice. Your atmosphere is shifting. The season of shadow is closing, and the dawn of favor is breaking. Remember this truth: when a curse breaks your spirit, feels it before your circumstances show it. You may not see all the results yet, but something in your heart already knows the battle is over. The breaking has happened. The blessing is active. Now listen carefully, because every blessing comes with testing. Before the full manifestation of favor, the chosen one faces subtle hidden challenges, not to destroy, but to solidify. 1. Emotional whiplash. You might feel sudden waves of emotion, bursts of joy, followed by random sadness or fatigue. This isn't regression, it's release. Your soul is purging old energies tied to former battles. God is detoxing your spirit so you can hold greater peace. Don't fight the waves, breathe through them. 2. The temptation to prove yourself. When favor begins to show, the urge to vindicate yourself can rise to finally show those who doubted you that you were right all along. But heaven says, stay still. Vindication belongs to God. If you try to prove what He is already revealing, you risk stepping into pride instead of purpose. 3. The return of old distractions. Past habits, old connections, familiar patterns may try to reappear. Not to bless you, to test your boundaries. They represent expired chapters that want one more moment of your attention. Discern quickly, for these distractions are dressed as nostalgia, but fueled by delay. 4. Silence from heaven. After breakthrough moments, it's common to feel like God has gone quiet. But that silence isn't absence, it's affirmation. It means heaven has spoken, and now it's your turn to walk out what was decreed. Silence teaches trust. 5. Spiritual fatigue. When curses lift, the spirit sometimes feels tired because the battle has been long. You may crave solitude or rest. Don't misinterpret that stillness as stagnation. You are recovering from invisible wars. Rest is not laziness, it's worship. God allows these hidden challenges to ensure your foundation is unshakable. Because what He's building next cannot collapse under emotional weight. Remember, the same God who reversed the curse is the one guiding you through the adjustment. He doesn't just bless, He stabilizes. So don't be alarmed by the turbulence after the turnaround. It's the settling of your spiritual atmosphere. You're not losing power. You're learning control. Stay anchored. Stay humble. The favor forming around you must rest on a spirit that knows peace under pressure. Listen now, chosen one. Heaven speaks with clarity. When God turns a curse into favor, you can't return to old rhythms. The reversal isn't only protection, it's a promotion in the spirit. You have been elevated, and with elevation comes instruction. The Spirit of God says, guard what I gave you. Steward what I restored. And do not speak where I have silenced. There are sacred steps you must walk now to preserve your favor. 1. Close old doors completely. The season of tolerance is over. Anything or anyone that repeatedly drains your peace is no longer part of your covenant circle. Do not reopen what I have sealed. Let go without bitterness. Your peace is not negotiable. Your destiny is not a public conversation. When you sense that same old energy trying to re-enter, remember God already used that environment to reveal your strength. You don't need to test it again. Walk away quietly. That's not weakness, it's wisdom. 2. Speak only what builds. Heaven warns. The next level of favor responds to speech. Your words now carry weight in both realms. If you speak from pain, you empower what hurt you. If you speak from peace, you multiply miracles. So declare life daily. Say, I am covered. I am chosen. Every curse against me has turned into divine fuel for my future. Do not repeat negative reports. Replace them with decrees. Your tongue is your sword. Wield it with holy precision. 3. Return to the secret place. In this new season, public strength must be fueled by private stillness. Heaven says, do not let victory make you loud. Let it make you grateful. Close your door. Sit in silence. Let worship rise without agenda. There in quiet surrender, God will download strategies. Every time you feel uncertainty, return to that secret place. That's where fresh oil flows. 4. Bless, don't battle. You are entering a divine paradox. Blessing your enemies will secure your promotion faster than confronting them. Heaven fights for those who refuse to curse back. Your silence will speak louder than their gossip. Your peace will torment the spirit that once sought to harm you. When you bless them, you're not approving their behavior. You're proving your growth. The true mark of divine reversal is that you can look at the ones who cursed you and still wish them peace. 5. Protect the new light. Every upgrade attracts attention, good and bad. Some will be drawn to your glow, others will try to dim it. Guard your time, your mind, your spirit. Limit access. Be kind but discerning. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. God says, you are the table now. Opportunities, resources, and revelations will come to you naturally. You don't have to chase what's already assigned. 6. Walk in quiet boldness. This season isn't about proving you're chosen, it's about being chosen. Walk with confidence, but stay low in spirit. Let humility be your fragrance and obedience your covering. Heaven advances those who can handle glory without pride. Do not shrink to make others comfortable, but also do not shout to prove your power. Your authority is recognized by heaven and felt by earth. 7. Keep your heart pure. Favor flows through clean vessels. Guard against offense. It clogs the anointing. Forgive daily, even when no one apologizes. Purity doesn't mean perfection. It means consistency in love. God trusts the heart that can handle blessing without boasting. Remember, you are not fighting for victory. You are standing in victory. The curse has already been reversed. The only thing that can block the flow now is disobedience. So obey quickly, forgive freely, love fearlessly, move quietly. These are your divine instructions, the keys that keep heaven's favor active. You've been anointed not just to survive, but to demonstrate what divine reversal looks like. When you follow these steps, favor will not just visit you, it will rest upon you. Breathe, chosen one. Heaven wants you to feel the peace that now surrounds you. The same God who reversed the curse has built walls of fire around your soul. You are not walking alone, you are walking shielded. God says, I have stationed angels at your front and your rear. You are hedged in by light. Everywhere you go, favor precedes you. Where others see coincidence, heaven sees covenant. You are protected not because you are lucky, but because you are loved. There will still be whispers, but they can't reach you. There will still be watchers, but they can't touch you. Divine protection doesn't always remove opposition. It renders it powerless. When anxiety rises, remember this. The curse was the last attempt. The attack was the final test. Nothing else can cross that bloodline of protection that now surrounds your life. You will notice peace even in chaos. You will find rest where there used to be resistance. That is the evidence of angelic covering. God's protection doesn't just defend you, it escorts you. He walks you into rooms where grace goes before your name. He softens hearts before you arrive. He hides you in plain sight until it's time for unveiling. And when storms try to rise again, his voice will whisper, "Be still." You'll know it's him because peace will silence panic. Do not fear the night. Heaven works best in darkness. Do not fear delay. It is divine choreography. Do not fear people. They are instruments, not architects of your destiny. The same fire that once burned you now builds a hedge around you. The same oil that dripped through your pain now shines through your presence. You are wrapped in divine assurance. No curse can cling. No weapon can wound. No enemy can enter what God has sealed. Rest in that truth. You are safe. You are favored. You are chosen, and heaven's armies stand guard. Chosen one. The moment has arrived. The divine reversal is no longer a prophecy. It's a manifestation. What once oppressed you will now honor you. What once drained you will now overflow into your life as abundance. Heaven has already shifted your name in the spirit realm from attacked to anointed, from targeted to trusted, from cursed to crowned. You are walking into a season where everything that opposed you will become evidence of your calling. People will look at you and see living proof that God restores what man rejects. They will say, "How did they survive that storm?" And heaven will answer, "Because they were chosen for it." Transformation is not a single moment. It's a holy unveiling. You will wake up one morning and realize the pain no longer controls you. You will walk into rooms and sense atmospheres bending in your favor. You will speak and peace will follow your words. The same energy that once felt heavy will now feel holy. The spaces that once suffocated you will now celebrate you. God didn't just remove the curse, He rewired your spirit to recognize favor. You're not the same person who entered that battle. You've evolved, refined by fire, polished by pressure. Spiritually, you've become light, unshakable, untouchable, unstoppable. The glory now visible on you was once invisible in your pain. That's why the waiting was long. God was preparing your reflection for this revelation. Every injustice you endured is becoming divine recompense. Every tear you sowed is producing supernatural harvest. Every moment of isolation is birthing public elevation. Heaven says, "I am making you the proof of my protection." You will soon see doors open without knocking. You will see provision appear without asking. Divine favor will locate you in strange places. Opportunities will chase you down because grace has your name written on it. But remember, this is not just restoration, it's redemption. What was stolen is being returned, multiplied. What was broken is being rebuilt better. The favor that surrounds you now is generational. It will outlive you. Your transformation is heaven's testimony. You are no longer a survivor of curses, but a steward of blessings. Look around. Feel it. The wind has shifted. The story has turned. You are standing in the fulfillment of what once felt like failure. And this is your divine moment of becoming. Take a deep breath. Chosen one, let these final words seal what heaven has spoken. This is your moment of rest after the storm. Repeat these affirmations aloud. Let your spirit hear what your soul already knows. 1. Every curse spoken against me has turned into divine favor. 2. I walk under open heaven, protected and anointed. 3. What was meant to harm me is now building my destiny. 4. I am chosen, covered, and crowned for such a time as this. Let those words echo through your heart. Speak them daily. They are not just affirmations. They are activations. Now receive this blessing. May the light of God wrap around you like a shield. May every lingering shadow dissolve in the fire of His glory. May peace become your language and favor your fragrance. May divine opportunities align with your footsteps. May every place that once wounded you now witness your wisdom. Heaven declares, you will never go through that kind of battle again. You have crossed over. You will no longer live in survival mode. You will live in overflow. You will no longer question your worth. You will walk in identity. You will no longer fear the curse, because now you are the carrier of blessing. The heavens rejoice over you, and the earth will respond. Doors will open. Paths will clear. Peace will reign. So walk boldly, chosen one. The curse has been reversed. The favor has been sealed, and your name is written in victory. Lift your hands, lift your heart, and whisper, "It is done."